See yourself for a minute and say, okay, hey, before you've even greeted the customer, I want you to come around and you're looking at you. You can see how your hair is combed, how your tie is or skirt, depending. Stop it, John. No, with the skirt. No, I'm just kidding. So you can see the tie, you can see how you're dressed and how you're carrying yourself. Customer comes in, you can see yourself performing that greeting. How are you greeting the customer? And I want you to hit the pause button on life for a second and ask yourself the question is, based on that greeting, right now, would you buy a car from you? How'd you greet them? And ask yourself the question. You can see it's your last car deal. You're the only one that can put you there. And say, would I buy a car from me?
Yes.
Then I want you to hit the play button again. Fast forward. We start qualifying the customer, talking to them, building a little bit of rapport, having some relationship, having some exchange. See the questions you're asking, right? You get to the point that you're at the desk and you're either at the desk, you have some good rapport with the person, you're getting ready to drive a car. I want you to hit the pause button again and see what your reactions are, see how you're carrying yourself, see and hear the things that you're saying. Put yourself back in time at that most recent customer you sold and ask yourself the question again. Would you buy a car from you? Would I buy a car from me is the question you need to be asking yourself at this point. We're not going to walk through the whole process this way. I want you to keep your eyes closed though, and I want you to hit the play button again. We're going to move forward. Now you're driving a car with that customer, the most recent customer, the most recent prospect that you've just sold. You're going out, you do a good quality walk around, you're walking around the car, you're explaining the items to them, you're talking about all this, the features of the vehicle, the benefits of the vehicle. It suits all their needs and the things that they want to have in a car and transportation. Or maybe you're just helping them get into something. Whatever that sale looks like in your head, then you both get in the car, you're driving, you're halfway through the demo drive. If you're at the South Store, you've stopped at York. Just like you should every time, right? There's one guy nodding his head. Coming back to the store, North Store, you're finishing up the demo drive, you're walking down through service, headed back through the desk, and this is that, remember that person that you're with. I want you to hit the pause button again, and at this point in the sale, you've been through, you've greeted the customer, you've done a qualification, you've established rapport, you've showed the car, you've demoed the car. Would you buy a car from yourself? You're third party, you're out and around. Would you buy a car right now from you? And at that point, because it's right before we get to the close, I want everybody to stop, take a deep breath right now, and open your eyes back up. Wake up. Some of you wake up. And I want you to, here's the thing that I really want to see. At some points during that, people were nodding their head or and that kind of stuff. If at any point in that sale that just took place in your head, you said, no, something has to change right now. And I'll give you one guess what it is. It isn't the customer or the prospect. You have to change the way you're looking at things, the way you're carrying yourself, the way you're presenting yourself, what you're saying, how you're saying it, what you're doing, how you're doing it. You got to change something right now. If you can say, hey, I don't know, man, I faltered a little bit, or I was questionable at this one part. At some point, if you answered no to any one of those questions, I asked it about 4, 5, 6 times, right? Would you buy a car from you? If you're missing it at any step, then that's where you got to start right now. If you're having if you're struggling with the greeting, how should the greeting go? Anybody jump in here? That's a real question. How should the greeting go? Well, maybe for some. One, it should be the same every time. Professional greeting. Hi, welcome to the dealership. Welcome to McCloskey Motors. I'm Mike. Perry, nice to meet you. What specifically brought you in to see us today? Work. Hey, sounds good. He's coming to work today, ladies and gentlemen. Right? If you're faltering from that greeting, and you wouldn't buy a car from you at that point, you're going to set yourself up for a problem the whole rest of the sale. At any point, if you're saying no to any one of those questions, then something's got to change right now. The cool thing is you can hold yourself accountable to it a lot easier than I can, or Tori can, or Austin can, or Jeremy can. It's easy to point the finger and say, but when you're looking at it from the outside, really when we're putting it in our mind's eye and looking at it from the outside looking in, you really definitely can assess yourself and you know the right answers. Would you guys agree with that? So if you're missing it somewhere, how long does it take you to change? How long does it take to change that? The activities that you're doing right now, the way you're carrying yourself, the way you're talking to people. How long, Andrew? Instant. Next customer you take, right? That's all it takes. Bam, you're done. Change. The thing is, and there's a quote, it's one of my favorite quotes, I think it's still hanging in the office down here. Change won't happen until the pain of same is greater than the pain of change. So if you're okay tracking for 5 cars this month, not that painful to you, then guess where you're going to end up? 5 cars this month. If that's painful and it really hurts here, and you say, man, I do not want to sell 5 cars. I want to, and tell yourself what you want, make the change. It's like that. One instant, bam, done. Change the greeting. Change the way you're establishing rapport with people. Actually genuinely care about people. What's the replacement for being genuine and sincerity with people? Anyone? There is none. The only way you can really genuinely care about somebody and be sincere with them is if you're sincere. There's no replacement for it. You can't BS your way through it. People, they'll find you out.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
You have to be genuine. You got to care about people. You got to be sincere. That's it. As you're establishing rapport and you're walking through that, and then when you go start showing the car, if in your mind you were faltering when you show the car, then guess what you can do today? You may still falter, but you can change it, right? Easy fix. Same thing, you walk back in, you walk through service, you sit down at the desk, how easy is it to change? Just like that, bam, done. So with that said, Austin or Tori, do you guys have anything before we go today? With that said, as we're walking out of here right now, and ask yourself, hey, how do I want to change for the positive today? What do I have to do to make it happen? That's it. And then what we need to do is we need to come out here, because I don't think the North Store is tracking exactly where they want to be. I don't think any individual is, and I don't think the South Store is. So we need to right now, boom, change it.
Have a good day, son.
Get off our duffs, change our greeting, change our demo, change our walk around, change the way we establish rapport, and make it happen right now today. It's not a big process. It's not you don't need the whole weekend to do it and meditate on it. You don't need to Sunday. I love Sunday also, but you don't need all the way. You're like, man, I will do it come Sunday after I've relaxed. It's right now.